What is up YouTube, it is Matty, and yes, today we are looking at the surgical hog approach, and I'm going to try and give as comprehensive as a guide as I can do in one video. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy. I've got a perfect war to show you. One thing I would like to quickly say is if you're new to my channel, if this is the first time you're seeing this sort of video, this is the sort of thing I do day in and day out. I'm a war YouTuber, I go through in-depth strategies, so please drop me a sub and let me know your thoughts on the video. Anyway, the war we're going to go into is the last one, which is versus a Chinese clan, and there are probably about 5 or 6 hog attacks in this video that were worthwhile showing in terms of the surgical approach, but I've narrowed it down to 3, I believe. Number 10, number 9, and number 7. So yeah, I think what it's best to do is have a quick look at the base. I know what the plans are, as in how the attack was achieved, so I'll be able to give a talk through and teach you guys how to do it. So the first part of any sort of hog attack raid is you need to take the queen down and you need to take the clan castle down. So there's normally the way up of, do you lure the clan castle? Do you use quite a number of hogs at the start, as an example here, to take down a series of defences and get the clan castle pull, and then take them out into the open and kill them with witches? And to be honest, in a lot of this video, it's going to be a shattered goho. Now, shattered means 2 golems, and goho is just golems and hogs. So what the idea is, you need to get in and kill the queen. Now, if you know what a shattered Laloon is, it's the same concept. So, because the queen is so deep into the core, the idea is you drop 2 golems down with your heroes behind, maybe a couple of wizards to help funnel, which might help with a bit of building clearing as well. And then the heroes go into the core and take down the enemy queen. Now, you're going to come up with a couple of obstacles. Number 1, let's say this base, you can see this segment of wall around here. Now, you're going to need to, potentially the queen might sit behind it. Highly likely she won't, but she could do. So because it's quite a small segment, you can just put a jump spell straight in the middle of it and jump over all 4 compartments, which makes it ideal. And the other thing you can do is, if you're looking, you have to understand where the giant bombs are. So if you're looking on this base, the obvious spots for them are, so there's no real space in this bottom quadrant. On the right hand side there could be a double actually behind the cannon and wizard tower, which might be likely actually. There could be a single giant bomb up by the wizard tower there, could be a single giant bomb over by the arch tower over here, and there could be a couple of giant bombs in the core as well. So there's a few spots they could be. So you've got the advantage of surgical hogging is, because of the deployment style that you're taking hogs from a lot of different angles, you're trying to minimise the risk of a lot of hogs dying from a double giant bomb explosion. So okay, because the queen platform is far to the left, it makes sense to go through the left hand quadrant here. He will eliminate 1 giant bomb spot. Ideally you'd want to try and eliminate the double, but you have to go through the king and a long way through the base to get to the queen, so you probably wouldn't get the queen, everything would die too quickly. So what you have to do is a couple of golems down, sort of 1 by the arch tower over here, 1 maybe by the gold storage here, so they've got like a split spread. So all the mortars, wizard towers, arch towers, cannons, all the defences are targeting them. Then you can use wizards to take down these external buildings, so you might need 2 or 3 or 4, and then if you target the very edge over here, you can get 3 wall breakers in and break them in, and as soon as the wall breaks, the golems should redirect and start moving in. At that point you can get the king and the queen going in, and what's going to happen is they're going to sort of go in towards, the kill squad will go in trying to get the queen, and as soon as they get within range of here, the clan castle are going to start coming out. So what the army the standard sort of army comp seems to be is 1 lightning, 1 jump spell, the lightning to take the CC, the jump spell to help get into the core, and then 2 heal spells for the actual surgical hog part of the raid. Now this, as with every other strategy, is fully customizable. So if it's an easy clan castle pull, you might bring a couple of witches in, get the clan castle pull, kill them, and then bring an extra heal into the raid. as an example, and then a jump. If the queen's accessible and the clan castle's easy, you might be able to kill the clan castle, kill the queen with a couple of witches and a single golem, then have 4 heal spells as an example. So really customize it dependent on the base. It just happens the 3 I'm going to show are the 3 same approach of 2 golems, and but come up with your plan, think about it carefully, and you'll be okay. Once everything's down, the queen's down, the clan castle's down, that attack's gone successful, the next approach is to decide if you're going to clockwise or anti-clockwise. I think Rev goes for the clockwise approach of surgical hogging. Now, the idea is you drop a single giant down. Now, the giant will do some tanking for you. Now, there's 3 point defences here that it's going to tank for. You drop the giant sort of by the gold mine or by the barracks there. The 3 point defences will start targeting it. Then you can drop a couple of hogs on each of the cannon and the arch tower. And the hogs, because they're busy shooting the giant, the hogs are going to tear through those defences quite quickly. Those defences will kill a giant quite quick as well, so he might want to back it up with a heal. Then you sort of move to the next compartment. So you've got to do it quite smoothly and quickly. But then the idea again, you drop a giant, preferably in a position that can target both cannons. So it might be towards the elixir storage over here, and you drop a couple of a couple of hogs on each of the defences, and the idea being you're targeting all these point defences, all these defences that can do damage to your hogs. You get them down early, so that by the time they get into the core, they've moved through the layer 2 defences, it's just a couple of expos to deal with, and it can overwhelm a base very quickly as well. And then obviously the third compartment, a giant or maybe potentially 2 giants down, and some more hogs to go in. So I'll show the attack, and we'll go through it. So I think he's going to do you can see at the start, the golem spread down to make sure he gets a good coverage. Couple of wizards down by each golem, and then he's going to allow the queen to do a lot of the cleaning up, because there's nothing's going to hit her at all, because everything's distracted by the golems. You can see the 3 wall breakers have a pure path in, the golems redirect, queen going in, king going in. So beautiful so far. It's gone absolutely fine. This is the easy bit anyway. Jump spell in to allow his troops into the core, and here come the CC. Look, the queen luckily came into the right compartment, so the queen's been able to sort of take her down quite quickly. Now, you've got to try and be as patient as you can when the CC troops are clumping together, because you want to get the wizards and you want to get the if there's a witch, you need to make sure you hit the witch. The surgical hogs already started hitting up top. Look, the giant in, then the couple of hogs down. He's backed it up with a heal spell just in case there's a giant bomb up there. It appears that it's not, it's just single bombs, but it's still keeping those hogs alive. You can see the other giant down, couple of hogs in on the right, and soon down the bottom side it's going to be the same. There is a double giant bomb there as well. You can see 2 more giants down, hogs from the bottom as well, trying to take down those defences, and already most of the defences are going down. They're moving through those layer 2 defences, and Teslas can do serious damage to hogs, but look, 1 expo is down by the queen, the other expo's got hogs sat on it and more coming in to reinforce, and already now the raid is over. So he's got 5 you always need clean up troops as well, so you can see he's placing a couple of wizards down, which is perfect. He's got 5 goblins as well, even a loon. So I don't know if he planned the loon in earlier, or if he forgot to place it, or if it was actually for cleanup. Kind of a wasteful cleanup troop, but hey ho, they still can do some damage to some high HP buildings. But yeah, you can see absolute domination of this base. On a base, if you try to go wee or anything like that, your troops might get lodged in the core, and it can very quickly become raid over. So hogs and Larloon is really the strategies you want to be practicing to learn. And surgical hogs is the new sort of approach, the new wave of attacks that seem to be hitting. People are starting to design anti-surgical hog bases now because of how hard it can hit. Now, next attack we'll show is by Xliv, so it's number 9. Now, I can't remember which angle he comes in. Great start. So this is the base, look. So I mean, it's a max town on 9. Pretty decent heroes, not epic, but they're okay. And there's 4 potential double giant bomb spots, I think. So one just to the right of the mortar arch tower here. Same expo mortar there, and same mortar cannon there. 3 spots there, and then No, I don't think you can fit a double giant bomb. Maybe by the king. So there's 4 potentials, and then one in the core that could be as well. So he needs to minimise the risk, and he needs to get in to kill the queen. So it's going to be a very similar approach. I do know where he goes in now. I think he places 1 golem at each of these points here, straight onto the arch towers, and then while the wizard tower's distracted hitting the golem, 3 wall breakers to get into that segment, and then he's got his route through the king into the queen. So again, it's going to be a very similar approach, and I think I don't need to explain this one as more in depth. It just sort of reinforces what I'm saying. Get your plan to kill the queen, kill the CC. Now, I don't know if the I think he could have maybe dropped 3 or 4 hogs on that cannon up there to get the CC pull, and then lure it out and use a couple of witches and get the kill. But I think the risk of taking only 1 golem in to go and kill that queen might have been too high, especially since he's got to go through the king platform. Well, the king himself. So I think because of the threat of the king and getting to the queen, he wanted to do 2 golems, which is why it's harder to make the strategy work if you've got witches to kill the CC in as well. So let's start the strategy and start the attack, and see how it goes. I believe it starts on the right hand side of the base, because he's going to do his shattered part of the attack, the 2 golems to go in and do that tanking. So let's have a look. Yep, golem 1 in, couple of wizards down. Let's start the cleanup. Golem 2 in as well. A minion, he'd noticed that there was nothing going to take down the minion. It's a lot cheaper than a wizard in terms of 2 housing space over 4, so use it if you can. It's all about planning, guys. It really is. Now, he's used a jump spell here. I don't think he wanted to risk the wizard tower hitting the wall breakers, because he could have potentially used wall breakers to get in, but I think it was just too big of a risk. And you can see here, their king's going down, the lightning spell's going on the enemy CC. He needs to get the queen. That's imperative to the success of this raid. He's already got a couple of defenses going down, but look down the bottom side already. Giant down. Huge wave of hogs coming in as well. More giants on the left there to target to take those sort of tank for those defenses, and more hogs going in. So he's almost used he has used all of his hogs early on. But look at his army comp. He's still got 6 loons. The double giant bomb didn't quite kill the hogs, which is beautiful. But he's noticed that when the hogs take down those air defenses, that he's going to have a clean run to some of the defences at the top side, and the hogs are going to be weak anyway because they're going to be hit by bombs and stuff. So look, he's dropped a couple of loons on each of those defences and actually got back end loons to go and happy birthday, it is my birthday today, so yeah, so yeah, you can see he's actually identified within the raid that I'm going to take 6 less hogs and actually use a couple of loons, because he had planned the whole way around that if he starts his surgical hog attack from here, ends it here, that when the hogs clump up they're going to come at that angle, and then he'll use loons for the back end. So it's all about scouting, and I think I'm going to do a special video on how to scout and build a plan, because that is such an integral part to getting a 3-star. It all comes down to a solid plan, and you can tell when someone's done a good plan and when someone's done a rushed plan. And a lot of the times I do rushed plans because I don't have time, because I'm messing around with my kids just being a pain in the ass, and it's hard to get recording times and especially war raid times. So if you can really take the time to visualize the attack, you're going to you should, as long as you don't mess up the deployment, start becoming more successful in getting the 3 stars. So again, similar approach, centralised queen. Because of the update, queen and king are a little bit harder to kill, so centralising them makes more sense these days. What he might be able to do is take an expo down, which is helpful. Expos are a pain no matter what attack you do, because of their high HP basically, and because they're just their range. They just hit, and they can take swarms down quite quickly actually if there's nothing tanking. Anyway, again, a perfect sort of base. A lot of the times where bases are good for surgical hog is when you can target a lot of the point defense early on. So a lot of the arch towers, cannons are directly killable quite soon. Has got a couple of at least one arch tower that's sort of deeper set and one cannon in the core, but that's not enough to save this base from getting surgicaled. So yeah, it's as I said, similar approach to last attack. And a pause here. So the army comp, he's only got a couple of giants in. He's got 30 hogs. You see, he's got a golem in his golem sat in his army comp as well. And in the CC, I believe it's a golem, 2 heal, 1 lightning, 1 jump as well. So let's sort of analyse the way he does the attack. I'm going to zoom out now because it's no doubt it's going to come from the bottom side because of where the queen is. So he's identified a route in to get to the queen, using those wizards to create the funnel, because the worst thing that can happen is you don't do funneling properly and the king just comes in, you drop your king and he just runs off to the left or the right and goes shopping, which is so common if you don't get the funneling right. Now you can see he's used 3 wall breakers to get in. It's 3 wall breakers for a Lego or a lava wall, if you didn't know. There is a witch in this CC, so he's going to need to hit the witch right on the head basically and make sure that witch goes down. I think she didn't, which can cause issue, but the king's gone in. Maybe she did. King's gone in and targeted the queen, and you can see because of that good jump spell, it's let all the troops into the core. The expo is going to go down, and look already, it's already started. Giant into tank, hogs going down. He's completely taken down the left side of the base. Now look, giant down, so it started tanking at the top right. Couple of hogs going in. He's targeting the defences specifically in this targeted order. This has all been pre-considered. Now, because some of the defences are already sort of targeting some of those hogs, he didn't need a giant to tank on the right hand side. There wasn't much point defence to target. So being very careful and cagey on his final heal spell placement because it's going to be key. But look how good it was. He noticed that there was a potential double giant bell in the double giant bomb spot in the core, which there was. And he's used the heal spell to cover it. It's kept those hogs alive, and now already he's on cleanup. And the beautiful thing about this attack is because you're not wasting time luring and killing the clan castle, you save probably about 30-40 seconds, that maybe even a minute and a half, that previously you had to a lot of the hog attacks would fail on time. So many people would be in the 90s club. But this rarely happens, especially if you can actually save cleanup troops as well. Now, Len just did an absolutely overwhelming hog attack here and just stormed the base. There's only 1 army camp left, and he would have had probably about a minute on the clock here, by the way, left. Maybe between 40 seconds and a minute, I would have thought. Because he brought some good cleanup, well, because he had so many hogs alive, it just meant that this base was easy to take down. And you can see the power. I mean, all 3 of these attacks have been on bases full of sort of Lego walls and in some cases lava as well. Oh God, go away! I'm trying to record a damn video. Anyway, yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the my explanation of the surgical hog attacks. It's a super powerful strategy. It's essentially just a different deployment method than hogging, and then straight up, dumping all your hogs down, because the army comp is the same. All you do is add a couple of giants in to do a bit of tanking, but it's so powerful. I hope you guys, I mean, don't expect to be able to do it first time. You'll fail. You need to practice it, and you need to really properly plan a base. So if you can get those 2 right, if you can start practicing and you can identify how to take you can start visualizing how to take the base down, things will become a lot easier for you. But it is a very powerful deployment method, and I suggest you guys start looking at it now. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.